Hello everybody, welcome. Today is a fun first day of summer event with the Crafty Bunch, and if you haven't joined the Crafty Bunch, you should, because you can watch all of our events live in there, and all you have to do is refresh your screen from one person to the next, and then you've got your next creator with you. And so it makes it super easy, you guys. So I hope that you are in the Crafty Bunch and watching everybody in there. And so today we've got the first day of summer, and that's what we're doing today. And we are going to, today I'm going to be making some hidden paper clips. And I tried this one time a long time ago and it didn't turn out so hot. I don't know what happened, but I think it's going to turn out much better today. And so it's really fun because, it's a great time of year to be able to, to do reading. How many of you like to read outdoors for the summer? I think that's fun. Thanks, Mary, for sharing me on over there. And so if you're not seeing the little red live button on your screen, then you're probably watching the replay. So I hope that you will let me know. All the creators love to know that you've been there and have seen, that you have been watching. So we like to know you've been here. So thanks for joining us today. And let's see, I'm going to wait just another couple minutes. What's your favorite thing to do for summer? Hi, Terry. Hi, Deborah. What's your favorite thing you like to do for summer? What is it that you look forward to when you know it's going to be summer? I tell you what, here in Texas, we have already gotten into the heat. Yesterday, I think it was 100 or maybe even over 100 a little bit. I don't know, but boy, I tell you, that's plenty hot for me. I'm not necessarily down for that much heat, but what are you going to do? This is why we like air conditioning, right? We like our air conditioning. So, you just got to go with it, right? So I've got some, oh my God, my words, you guys, I know, I just get tongue-tied half the time. I think my brain thinks faster than my mouth works, right? Oh, Deborah says she loves to garden. Terry too, they both love gardening. And I tell you, this year, if you didn't see on my page, I had posted what the garden here is looking like so far. My daughter, when she moved down here from Minnesota, wanted to start a garden, and so we did that. And it's coming along wonderfully. In fact, the tomatoes are so tall. She said she'd never had tomatoes that tall. They have come out of their cages. We should have paid more attention to keeping them in their tomato cages, but they're starting to just go everywhere. So since this is the first time we've done some gardening back in that area, we now know what to do next time and where to keep some of these things that are going to be just huge, right? Oh, why is somebody giving me a sad crying face? Was that for the heat? Oh my goodness. Could be. Gave us a sad crying face for heat probably. Hey Nora, welcome. So we've got a few people already on, and I want to be respectful of your time. We do have 45 minutes today, so we'll be on until 4:30 Eastern. So it's 3:30 my time. I'm in Central. So that is how long we've got today. Now the paper, I'm going to switch us down to the desk area, our workspace. And so what we've got going on is I thought it would be fun to use this paper because it has less of a directional pattern than some of the other things I was looking at to use. And you'll see why that's going to be important. And then I was trying to figure out how long I wanted the bookmarks to be. And I mean, I think about 5 inches would make a good size bookmark, a good length. You could even do it 4. And if you cut, and we're going to fold one of the papers. No, we're going to fold 2 papers in half. Oh, let me get rid of this cord that's peeking out here in the way. If you get rid of, or if you cut your paper, you'd want to double the size to fold it in half. So if we're going to do, and that's what I'm saying, if you did 4-inch, I think 4 is just too small. If I did it in half, 6 seems a little long, although I know a lot of bookmarks that you purchase are probably that big. And then here, I don't know if I told you what it was. This is called, it's from Graphic 45. It's not a new set. You maybe can find some if you look on Amazon, or I don't know, there's all kinds of places, and a lot of times these things will resurface. People will have them in their stash somewhere and they'll kind of resurface, but it was called Flutter. And so there were lots of kinds of flying things. There's butterflies and a lot of butterflies, but there's other little bugs, so it made it a fun little set to use for summer. And on this side, even though this is black, it's got this viney thing going around. Oh, I thought these were bugs, but I don't think that's a bug. I think that's opening of a flower. It might be a bug. Kind of looks like there might be some little antenna right there. I don't know. Anyway, this is a great kind of a, if you've got papers that are bright and colorful, sometimes you get something like this, and this almost becomes your neutral paper. So this is what we're going to use because I thought it was super summery, and I think we're going to go with 5-inch bookmarks. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me look, and I've got my, what is going on here? My comments froze in one place. That's kind of odd. Okay. There's Jan, Fine Again Finds. Hey Jan, how are you? Okay, so let's go ahead and get going. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Sometimes, and it's so funny because there we go. Now I got the comments now. What else do you like to do for summer? So we had family come in. I think I'm gonna move this brown. I don't really need this right this second. We had a granddaughter, and then her son come in. So great-grandson. They came in and spent a few days, and oh my goodness, we packed so much stuff to do into those few days. I slept really well last night. So we just had so much fun. And then yesterday, and how fun, because then it ended up being over Father's Day. So I think that is the first Father's Day in a long time that any of the kids have been here. So we were just missing one daughter and grandson, and all the other kids and grandkids ended up being here. So we had a fun time. And then we went to the water park one day. Is that really? Okay, so 10 inches. We're going to fold that in half. That almost doesn't look like, is that really 2 inches left? Yep. You can't really trust your eyes sometimes, right? You have to use a ruler. Now let's see. I want to make sure I want to bend it this way. So it's going to bend this way. So I'm going to cut my 2 inches off here, this direction. And I'm only going to fold it in half, so that really doesn't matter. Okay. So let's go ahead, and because I want these folds really nice, I am going to go ahead and use my stylus. We'll just go ahead and use this. Because a lot of times, if you've got one of these paper trimmers that has the little ditch here for the paper, for your thing to slide, your, what do you call it, your blade to slide through, you can use that for scoring. So that's kind of handy. You kind of get two for one out of that. So 5 inches. I'm just going to start it up there and just go down. And all you're doing is you're just kind of massaging those fibers, those paper fibers, so that they are a little bit easier to trim. Now, part of this, you're going to see some of this paper is going to look more like it is upside down. But don't worry, I'm going to show you what to do about that. Don't feel like you've got a bookmark that's going to be upside down. I'll show you a way to deal with that. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. And I think because this is going to be the outside, and I certainly do not want it to crack, I'm going to go ahead and score it on both sides. The inside piece, I don't want it to either, but it's not really going to matter. You're not going to see it. The white piece we're not going to see. And I could have used like a cream color. I think I'm going to go ahead and make thought. What's new, right? Hey there, Tarina. Thanks for sprinkling it out. Thank you. Everybody's having comment issues today. Yeah, I know. There's Regina. Hi, Regina. Penny. Hey, everybody. Penny's from Utah. So she's an hour earlier than I am. I tell you, sometimes I kind of like these times that are a little bit later, because then it gives us a chance for my friends out on the West Coast to join us, and it's not super, super early. They're like me. They don't do super, super early. You guys, I slept so good last night. We were so busy, and so last night, oh my goodness, I slept so good. Okay, so now we've got both of these. And here we're just going to lay this one inside. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. We're just going to give it a little, we're just going to go ahead and glue it down. And I'm using that reptile glue. I'm not going to put it clear to the bottom because I think I'm going to have to trim some off. If I was smarter, I would have cut this white one a little bit smaller so it didn't peek out the bottom, but that's going to be okay. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and do this side. Then our two pieces are already together. Oops. Oh, wait a second. Oh my goodness. What am I doing here? This is not, oh my goodness. That I'm already off to a mistake. You guys, I gotta put my paper clips on. Now you can use any kind of paper, any size paper clip that you want. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. Yes, I can believe it. So you're just gonna put your paper clips on here. And just be aware you're gonna want to cut. At least I saved myself from my mistake, right? Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to put some across. Now this is going to allow us to mass make these. And let's see, how far apart do we want to put them? I think a good bookmark looks like it's probably going to be 1.5 inches. So I'm going to lay this down here. I should have grabbed a pencil. Let me see. I probably have one here. Oh, here's one. Let's do this. Let's mark our 1.5 inches. So there's 1.5, 1.5, 3, 3.5, or no, 3 to 4, 4.5. You could make them a little bit wider too. Actually, I think I'd rather have it this like that. So that's like, oh my goodness, now I'm just going to confuse myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How's that the same? So if I make it 1 3/4 inches, oh, this will be easier. 1 3/4 inches. See, I knew that wasn't right. I'm going to make a goofy line so I know that's the real one. And then 1 3/4 inches. I can always show you how to fix something crazy, right, you guys? I think I'm just going to make them all the way across the paper here. Oh my gosh, I'm going to stick that down. I should have left out that piece of non-stick stuff. So 1 1/4 inches, and I don't know, the last one might not be, well, however long it is. All right. So now let's just kind of put these in the center of these, and I want to okay, that's not sticky anymore. So what I want to do is I do want to make a little hole in a couple of these because I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can do this. So I want to make a little mark here. I don't know if I can see that. Maybe I will just wait a second. I'm going to put my pins on. Some of them are going to be completely hidden, and some of them I want to just stick out a little bit. Because that way, if you stick it out, you can put something fun on it. And I wanted to show you a couple of ways to add something real easy. Okay, here we go. Now we're rolling along. So this is the only live I'm doing this week, and then I'll be back on. Goodness, I think I have 3 things next week. I'll be on for Monday with Crafter's Choice, and then Crafters in the Kitchen on Tuesday. Seems like there's something else too. I can't think right off the top of my head. But I think I've got 3 things going next week. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do. I am going to fold this, and I'm going to put it right along here so I can see. And I am going to use my hole punch. And I actually think my cheapy hole punch is a little bit bigger. Hang on one second. I think this one is a little bit bigger. So I don't really need this to stick all the way through, but I need it to be where I can just grab the end of it, you know? So we're just going to put it a little way in here. This is hard. Who knew punching a hole would be so hard? Oh my goodness. So we already talked about, a couple of you said you like to garden. So for some of the rest of you who just came on, what do you guys like to do for summer? What's one of your favorite things that you really look forward to when summer comes? Okay, we'll do that one. I think I'll do 3 of these where they'll stick out, and the rest of them we'll do the true hidden one for the others, okay? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I'm going to do 4. I might not have time to decorate these with the things on the tips, but we'll do that. Okay. And so now we're going to just push these up just to where you can get something on here. Did I glue it down? Just a tiny bit. So you can see it doesn't need to be big, because I'll show you what we're going to use. All we need is for it to be long enough we can attach one of our bulb pins. And here's what a bulb pin is. They kind of look like a little light bulb shape. That's what a bulb pin is. So you only need it to be long enough that you can, you know, stick that in there. So my goodness, that's maybe an 1/8 of an inch that I've got it bumped up there. So just a tiny bit. Like that. Okay, and these are all the way down. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to, yeah, if I would have remembered my plan, I would have been better off to start with. Okay, Donna said, oh, Nora says she likes the heat. Oh my goodness. Nora, you should come here. You should come visit me if you like heat. Yard sales and flea markets. Oh, that's fun. We went to one. I went to one. I scored something really cool. A couple things actually to use like for junk journals that were fabulous fabrics with lots of lacy stuff that, you know, easy to take out and cut apart. Let's see. Okay, Donna says it's hot and air controls bit. Yeah, I tell you what, I bet some of you have really had a lot of problems with smoke from those Canadian wildfires. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to put something down. You could use masking tape or whatever you want. You know, you could use like the regular old Scotch tape, anything, but I am going to just use this. This is some of the like score tape. I don't think it's that brand. It's not brand name. I'm just going to press it down here in between, and this way I've got these stuck where I want them, and when I remove that backer, it's also going to help me get it stuck to my paper. See, I got really excited about gluing it down in the first place, right? Nora says she doesn't like the muggy heat here in Oklahoma, but I love the dry heat where I moved. Oh, you're moving to Arizona. Okay. Yeah, the dry heat is totally different. When we moved here, that was one of the places that we had considered going. I had been to Phoenix a couple of times, and I didn't mind that dry heat so much. And I grew up in Colorado, so I knew all about dry heat. Not the temperatures that they have in Arizona, but I certainly know dry heat. I used to laugh all the time. Once we went to Minnesota, and people would say up there, they would talk about how dry the weather was, like in the winter. It's so dry in the winter. I'm like, oh, people, you don't even know what dry is. You don't even know. I tell you, the humidity. But you know what? I've been surprised. Here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's not so bad. Now, you get down around Houston and down that way, and it is really going to be, you know, so much more humid. When my husband was a kid, his family moved down to Houston, and they only stayed down there for 6 months, and they'd had enough. I laughed. I told somebody, I go, that kind of tells me they must have been there in the summer. Because I go to a crafting retreat down there sometimes. And, well, actually, it's about an hour west of Houston. But, you know, it's just not that bad. And it's not that far. I think it's about 15 minutes or so from the Gulf. And the humidity just isn't that bad. It hasn't been when I've been there, thank goodness. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead. Ta-da, this time I'm going to glue. So we're going to glue it down again, you guys. So, and you can see I'm putting the glue down even over the tape. And that's just, the tape is going to give it that instant stick. And the glue is just going to give it a lot more stability and take care of that. So we want it to, if we're going to make them, we want them to stick good, right? I thought about my little buddy, my great-grandson. He was, my granddaughter was talking about having him, you know, be reading every day. And he read so long, and then he was trying to decide what to do, like to mark his place. And I remember thinking, oh, we should make him a bookmark. And then who knows what else happened. And that was the end of that thought. And then when I was thinking of what I was going to do today, I thought, oh, I should have made some. Now, these are a little frilly for a little boy, but anyway, super fun. Okay, so now I'm just going to stick this up in here. And I'm going to make sure that I push that up there so I can see those that have... So I can get those. No, this might be harder than I thought, you guys. Oil. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't know how, but I am. Just gonna poke those up in there. Okay, I got it. There they are. I can see them. Okay. And just press this all down. Man, that paper clip really gives it a lot more bulkiness. I think I don't have enough glue. Man, that glue dried really, really fast, you guys. What in the... Oh my goodness. I'm like, that's not sticking. That's because this is the side with the glue. Is it? Yes. Oh my word. Oh, hey Cindy, how are you? There's Mary says they have humid heat. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, you have damp rid for your craft space. Yeah, some places you've got to use something like that because it just stays so humid. I can certainly understand that. Okay, now then we'll do this side. I swear I know more about what I'm doing than it looks like. I promise. We hope so, right? Okay. So now we'll put our glue in here. I just couldn't believe that that glue had dried that fast. I'm like, it usually gives me a moment to get my my project glued together. So thank goodness I figured out what was wrong, right? Where's Melanie? Is Melanie on here? She laughs at me all the time about having to fix stuff. That time I didn't have to fix it. I just had to figure out what was going on, right? Okay. So now let's just make sure, and we've just got that tiny bit sticking out there, and that's all we needed. So now we're just gonna press this all down here. And I want to go in between the paper clips. Make sure we've got it all sealed down. And you can see how by making those two papers the same, and since we needed to bump it down a little bit, or it's got the paper clip at the top too, and these ones that are completely hidden, then we've ended up with this down here. And you know, that's not a problem. We can trim that off. Okay. Oh, thank you, Cindy. You're so sweet. So sweet, you guys. I love coming on and crafting. Everybody is always so sweet. And you know, when you love to craft, you love doing it with anybody practically, right? But when you've got your friends watching and everybody is joining in, that makes it even more fun. Tell me, how many of you love to read in the summer? Do you like to read outside, or do you sit outdoors and do some reading? Let me know if you love reading outside. Some summer reading, a good book, can sit out when it's not too hot. There we go. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to use my big scissors and trim off on the side. Let's see how this works. Let's see if, since I've already got a place to show me where to cut, I think I can safely just go along the paper, get that trimmed off. Yep. Now I am going to use my paper trimmer to cut in between. So yeah, this is kind of heavy because I'm cutting those two. Now for some reason it seems like white cardstock is always a little bit thinner than other kinds of cardstock. You maybe could even use like just your regular printer paper, but I thought I would like to have, you know, something a little. Okay, so now this is what happens. Now you can put this in here and slide it onto your page, and you've got it protected from those paper clips, because you don't always want those paper clips right you know, on your pages. Okay, now depending on what you want to do with your bookmarks, if you're going to use it for junk journaling, you maybe could, you know, do all kinds of you know, you could give it more embellishment that would be, you know, textural or dimensional. Now I don't think I want to do that, because for now what I'm planning to do with these is to use it for a regular book page. So when you're using just a little bit of you know, when you're doing that, you don't want it. Well, I don't anyway. I wouldn't really want the real dimensional stuff to be poking into my book pages. I mean, if you don't care, that's fine. Okay, so Cindy says she loves to read on her front porch, especially when she does her devotional and prayer. That's great. Thanks. Cindy says she loves the cover. Okay, so now, now I'm kind of glad I did the measurements. Okay, so let's see, what is half of 1 3/4, you guys? So if it's 1 3/4, then half is going to be what? Oh, I know. Let me use my 0 thing here. Look at me, I'm going to do math. Ugh. So you got 1 3/4. Well, that's going to be hard. So that will be, now what am I thinking? That's hard to do. Let me do it this way. So 1 3/4 is right to there. So about, well, it's just a little, like 5/8. Not 5/8. Oh my gosh, what am I, 7/8? So 7/8. Yeah, that would be 7/8. How embarrassing to have people watching me do math, measurement math. So if I do about 7/8, yeah, that feels right. So I'm going to trim it in there. I'm going to put it in there. Nope, that's not right. I can't do that. No, I need to cut it at 1 3/4. What am I thinking? Oh, you guys. Somebody save me from myself. It needs to go right where we planned at the 1 3/4. Must be Facebook. Let me see. Yeah, a lot of times that's what happens. We just don't get. Let me refresh over here and see if I can get new comments. One of my places in my software looks like it is moving along more in comments. Nope, looks just the same. Oh well, we'll see. They'll pop in sooner or later, I hope. So I'm just going to cut this at 1 3/4. That seems, I'm going to have to do it more than once to cut through. There we go. No, we didn't. Why didn't that cut? Oh my goodness. What in the world? Boy. It just gave me a... I can't cut it that way. Let me try this side. I've got another paper trimmer that would be really easy to do it on, but it's so large and I usually just leave it where it is. Okay, so 1 1/4 over here. I'll try to go through it more times. You know, when you've got it thick to start with, it almost seems like it works better if you start it in the middle and kind of go back and forth and then make it to the end. It does for me anyway. Okay. Boy, that just won't cut through. It just must be too thick. Okay. So we'll use our scissors. Trusty scissors. Okay, so we got 2 of those. And let's go ahead and work on these, and then we can pull something else out if we want to, or if we need to, if there's time. But let's go ahead and start this. Now what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let's round the corners too. Okay, that's not the corner rounder. That will not round a corner. Look what happens when I take off several days. It seems like forever since I did a live. I don't think it's been that long. But it feels like it. That's like, everybody here is always doing the feel like temperature. You know, and it feels like. I said, I don't want to know. Just tell me the real temperature. I'll decide how I feel about it. Whoops, I'm losing my score tape over there. How about you? Do you guys tell the temperature in the feels like temperature or the real temperature? I'm curious. I love these punches and these tools from We Are Memory Keepers that are these the corner rounders and the crocodile tool. I tell you, they are just so sturdy, and you can go through, you know, several layers of something, and so it just makes it so easy. I'm just gonna go ahead and ink this up a little bit, and since this is just this color inside, I'm just gonna give it a little color here so it's not just plain right there. I got a little something something going on. Okay, I'm just gonna do some on the outside. Yeah, you can't really see that much, but you know what, to me it just adds a tiny bit of something. Now I'll show you in a second after I've done this one, and I'll show it next to the other one. And it's just surprising how such a little bit of added detail, you know, adds a lot to a project. 85 feels like Satan's 10. Oh yeah, I know, Mary, that's what you're right, that's what everybody, I don't know if it makes it sound like you're a real survivor, because that's the, you know, that's the feel like temperature. Yes, it's 120. It's not 120. It might feel like it, but you know, that's not the temperature. But yeah, I think it makes everybody feel like they're a lot, you know, they're a survivor in the heat. Okay, so here we've got these two, and look at what it I don't know, it just adds a little bit of something. It's hard to see. It's really kind of hard to see. I don't even know if you can tell, but it just adds a tiny bit to, you know, to your project. Okay, now you can also take, what do I do with my stickers? Now this collection had some, you know, stickers, so it makes it super easy to find something that goes with your you know, with your whatever, your bookmarks. Oh, this is cute. This is good. Okay, now, oh, I was going to show you. Okay, so when you flip it over this way, it almost looks more like it's got more that's upside down, right? Let me move this out. That's kind of hard to focus on. Okay, so we got this one. This clearly has more of it that is facing, you know, up the direction that you want, right? And then this one, it almost looks like it's a little bit upside down, because you've got these butterflies, or, you know, moths, or whatever they are, upside down. But this is such a great idea, because you can take your book and slide it on from the bottom. You know, we don't often think about putting a bookmark on from the bottom, right? And if you've got something that ends up being kind of a sideways print, if you've done your paper and you've got something, you cut it all apart like this, and all of a sudden you've got something that looks better from the side, why not slide it on from the side, right? Nobody said you have to put a bookmark on at the top. We get used to doing things like that, and that's just the way that we think about doing them. But you don't have to. Nobody's making you put on a bookmark from the top of the page. So I'm just going to do the inside of this one first. You can just reach up in there. I mean, you could have done the edges of the paper first if you wanted to. You don't have to do them at all. Just not so white when you, you know, open that up. Okay, so now then, you've got this teeny bit of your paper clip sticking out in this. It's still hidden, and I'm really pleased with how much we still got hidden in here, right? So let me know what you think. If you think this is a great idea, give me some hearts if you think this is a great idea. So I already put this together, and all I did with this ribbon is I just cut this tiny ribbon. It's an 1/8 of an inch ribbon, and I just tied, I did a little length of it, and I tied an overhand knot in it so that it can go on the loop of this. Let me zoom in a tiny bit. Okay, so see, it's just a tiny little overhand knot, and then it'll go on your bulb pin. And I just put I thought it'd be fun to kind of put it in the center of the two ribbons, and then it kind of gives you this little tassel look. And then I found these tiny charms that were at, I think, at Joann's, and there's a brand that's called let me think, I'll think of it. I think it's called Hildy and Joe or something like that. And they always have little cards that have the cutest charms, and a lot of times they weren't all butterflies. You know, I think I put it back in my stash, or I would show you. But you know, the little cards will have a variety of stuff, and a lot of times those will be like 50 or 60% off, and that's when I try to grab them, because I think, you know, I'll find something to do with them, especially the little things that are like little bugs and stuff like that. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to just clip this up in here. Just take my little pin and try to close it. There we go. So now I've just got that, and I've got my little doodad here on the back. Now I wanted to take another little bulb pin. I guess I put it away. And I thought I would try to do just a little piece of lace. And I haven't tried this. Well, this will be trial and error, this part. I wanted to just cut a little length of, I didn't have any narrow lace, but I thought it would be fun to try and kind of, so I mean, that would be a nice little length of lace, right? The bottom of that needs trimmed. I'm going to just angle it off. A lot of times I also take some glue, you know, that'll be like a clear glue or something, and I just do a tiny bit across the bottom. You can tell these are my fabric scissors because they cut really great. Okay, now what I do, we're running out of time. I guess I'll wait a second. I'll show you here in a second. So what I thought I would do is I would just, you know, kind of fold it in half, and then just kind of gather it on here. Just smush it up and gather it onto my pin like that, and put it into here like that, like that. And now we've got, you know, a really nice, that was easy. You guys, that was super easy. And then what I would do is I just take my glue I use all the time like this, because it'll dry clear. But I just take a tiny bit, and in fact, I'm just going to put it on my finger. I just take some and then just run it along the edge here like this, just to seal off those edges. And then when it dries, it's not going to fray. And I know I haven't bought any in a long time. I don't even know if they still make it. Somebody used to make something, and it was called Fray Check, and it was a glue made for fabric like that. But this works just as good. I mean, you've just got it sticky, it's going to dry, and it's going to be done. Well, you guys, I forgot to tell you, now today following me is going to be Dawn from Diamond Dotting Divas. Diamond Dot Divas, yes. And she's going to be with us. So if you haven't seen any diamond dotting, that's always fun. And she does a lot of things with them. More than all I've ever done is like one of the pre-packaged, you know, pretty designs. Oh, do they, Trisha? Good. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, look, all of a sudden we've got some of our people back in. They're showing up. You guys, I'm so sorry. If I didn't see your messages, I'm going to go back, your comments. I'll go back and make sure I can see everybody's comments. I know, Terry, isn't that pretty like that? And, you know, what an easy way to just gather it up right on that little pin. So now we've got, you know, a couple of bookmarks. Now this one, now that looks backwards. Here's the front side. But remember what I said, you can always flip it this way if you've got a, if something is an overall design but not that over, which was this one. It was kind of overall but not really. I mean, it was more so than some of the other prints in this paper collection. So yeah, I like it. I'm happy with it. I think that's cute. And then I got this cute little thing. I would be happy to stick that in a book, and I think that's super summery. What do you think? Did I do okay for summer, for a summer event? I hope you like it, you guys, and I hope you make it. Let's go over and see what Dawn is doing over at Diamond Dotting Divas. All right. Let's see. Page I do more. Okay, there we go. Oh, Trisha. Yeah, sometimes that's really bad. Okay, my time is up. I've had my 45 minutes, and we're ready to go off and see our next person in our event today. You guys take care. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.